Some of the best female soccer players in the world have launched a totally legitimate complaint about the upcoming 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup, which is going to be held here in Canada next year. The Men's World Cup is always held on lush, perfectly manicured, natural grass fields. But next year's event here in Canada will be the first Women's World Cup to be held exclusively on artificial turf. Players hate artificial turf. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but nobody argues it's the ideal surface to play soccer on. And so if these women had gotten together and made an earnest, sincere appeal to FIFA, to the Canadian Soccer Association, to Canadians at large for natural grass pitches, or maybe just one natural grass pitch in Vancouver for the final, I think they would have gotten a lot of public support. Instead, they lawyered up. And their very high-priced American and Canadian lawyers sent a very funny and very over-the-top letter to FIFA and to the CSA, alleging that forcing them to play on artificial turf violates their gender equality rights under the Charter. Now, the Charter doesn't apply to the CSA or FIFA. The Charter applies to governments. But even if it did, it's hard to imagine how even a high-priced lawyer would convince a judge that discrimination had occurred here in Canada. Canada's never hosted the Senior Men's World Cup. And when Canada hosted the Under-20 Men's World Cup in 2007, the players played on artificial turf. Maybe that was age discrimination. The fact is, around the world, elite men and women sometimes do have to play on artificial turf. Again, no one says it's ideal, but then things in life aren't ideal. And the bemused reaction to this story in the media this week, I think, shows there's a lesson here. Canadians understand what a fundamental human right is and what a fundamental human right isn't. If you go around complaining that your minor inconveniences are, in fact, constitutional outrages, a lot of people are just going to roll their eyes and walk away. That seems to be what's happening here. I'm afraid these women might be less likely to play on grass in 2015 than they were before they called in the lawyers.